Hey everybody, I want to make this video to help people out. I was getting a writing error on iTunes, my other computer, that my backup for my phone was living on, and I could not restore my phone with that computer, which is kind of ridiculous. And the reason is that computer did not have enough space for iTunes to actually build the restoration folder to restore from, which is ridiculous. And I can actually show that right here. So this is running on this computer with a huge amount of storage space available. This second backup folder here, you can see, is kind of big. This is the original one. Once it gives me an estimate, come on. Anyways, this one's 121 gigabytes in size. You can just believe me there. So this is the original one that's huge, and then when you start the restoration process, it builds this other folder that's massive as well. So if your computer doesn't have enough free space, you can't do that. So the way to fix this is easy. The first thing you need to do is go on your other machine. So this is my other machine in this case I'm restoring from right now. It has a huge SSD that has a lot of free space, and I went ahead and installed iTunes from the Microsoft Store. And when you do a fresh install from the Microsoft Store, you need to actually build your mobilesync folder that you need in backup folders and main Apple folder. So what you do is you launch iTunes, you plug in the iPhone or iOS device you want to restore, and then you'll get the phone symbol here, click on it, and then there's an option here that says backup now. You're going to click it, and it's going to do a whole shebang where it's either going to say failed because the phone's not set up, or it's going to actually start backing up if the phone is set up. So you're going to stop the backup, and then on this computer, if you go into your users directory, click on you, you'll notice now there's an Apple folder that built itself from that process. So you go into the Apple folder, you go into mobilesync, you go into backup, and you'll see a very small backup file here. In your case, that's individual, and this is on the machine that doesn't have your original backup. So you want to delete this, and this folder then will be empty. Now you'd close iTunes, and then you'd plug in your external hard drive and import your backup from the other iTunes computer, basically with the good backup on it, into this directory. So you just copy it into here. So this is the name of mine in this case. This is the original one I copied in to start this restoration process. After you do this, then you relaunch iTunes, plug in your iPhone, click the iPhone button that appears here, and then you're going to click Restore Backup. And then iTunes is smart enough to go, hey, there's a backup in my backup folder, right? And it's going to start rebuilding from this. And when it does that, it's going to create this secondary file as well that it needs to make for the restoration process. This is what requires the huge amount of storage space on your machine to actually do the restore. And that's the issue I was having on the other PC. The SSD in that PC literally is not big enough, even if I didn't have anything on it, to do the process. So in this case, I had to use a different computer and install Windows. Then I will just go ahead and restore. An important thing to note is iTunes may forget to delete this restoration folder it made, and these are gigantic, depending on how big your backup is. Right? It's literally double the same thing. So this is a quarter of a terabyte worth of stuff now, basically. So on my original computer, I'll just be going ahead and nuking everything on that machine because I can't use it anyways for backing up this phone. And then I'm gonna make sure I keep this backup folder on an external drive as a backup, and I might even keep it on this computer as a backup as well on this install of iTunes. But yeah, just in case the secondary restoration folder it had to build to do the restore doesn't delete itself, especially if the error is out, it will not delete itself for sure, because iTunes is a little silly. You can remove that, but just make sure you actually have the original one still there correctly, and absolutely only do that if you have other backups of this, because if you accidentally delete the wrong one, that would kind of majorly suck, because then you lose your backup. And in that case, if that ever does happen, then you should immediately redo your backup on your phone to whatever computer you're on, so that way you have it. So that's that basically. So hopefully that helps. If you have any comments or anything, put them in the comment section. Please subscribe. I just want to make this video to help people because this was something I could not find on the internet. It was just like random Reddit articles and stuff. Basically, I had to figure out how this stuff worked, and this kind of mashes all that together in one video. All right, thank you.